If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. It's all messing.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a mason, but nah, I ain't no mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. You couldn't walk in my sneaks. Try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint. Divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents. What I had to do to pay rent. Post it up on the pavement. Posted up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a mason, but nah, I ain't no mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. If the feds listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. I'm the one that got it poppin' when it all rotted. Even when the love departed, I stay pure-hearted. I was the one that stayed solid when it all started. When I'm in the booth spittin', I can hear Saint talking. I hear my higher self telling me to say my grace. But I look into their soul when we face to face. I see the hate in their eyes, they wanna switch my place. My two eyes so blinded, so I walk in faith. Instead of choosing love, while my people rather hate. I come from the mud, where it all can escalate. Even low to the ground, I can elevate. My pockets gaining pounds, now I'm a real heavyweight. Just beat another case, no longer do I chase things that can be replaced. Now they all acting fake. Of their own medicine, I let them all get a taste. But the real lesson is learn from my own mistakes. See, my purpose is upliftment for a fallen race. My lifestyle different, now I can talk to Chase. God must be forgiven how I won this race. Started in the last place, now's a fast break. See, I'm feeling like Kobe, something chain is my trophy. Same ones that hate me be the same ones that know me. Now I believe what I see, you just gotta show me. Talk to my lower self, I said you can't control me. It's lying.
The feds listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism. Hey, Islam. Allah, Allah, all praise to Allah.
I'm counting all my blessings, Allah's my protection. Donald Trump in office, but I ain't vote for that election. Study self for perfection, Quran is my weapon. I leave my footprints, now they know how I'm stepping. Challenge jurisdiction, tell them challenge jurisdiction. Post-trial motions, tell them challenge that conviction. Special appearance, pay the court a special visit. Warrantless arrest, you got a motion to dismiss it. The Constitution missing, it's time to bring it back. That habeas corpus, that can bring your homie back. That Dred Scott case proves that slavery is black. And victimless crimes come from artificial facts. Hey, without you, la la la.
The feds listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism. Hey, Islam. Allah, Allah, all praise to Allah.
I'm counting all my blessings, Allah's my protection. Donald Trump in office, but I ain't vote for that election. Study self for perfection, Quran is my weapon. I leave my footprints, now they know how I'm stepping. Challenge jurisdiction, tell them challenge jurisdiction. Post-trial motions, tell them challenge that conviction. Special appearance, pay the court a special visit. Warrantless arrest, you got a motion to dismiss it. The Constitution missing, it's time to bring it back. That habeas corpus, that can bring your homie back. That Dred Scott case proves that slavery is black. And victimless crimes come from artificial facts. Hey, without you, la la la.
the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islam. If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operation, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. You couldn't walk in my sneaks. Try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint. Divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents. What I had to do to pay rent. Post it up on the pavement. Post it up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operation, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation.
If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operation, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. You couldn't walk in my sneaks. Try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint. Divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents. What I had to do to pay rent. Post it up on the pavement. Post it up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operation, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation.
If the feds are listening, Let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. Couldn't walk in my sneaks. Try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint. Divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents. What I had to do to pay rent. Post it up on the pavement. Posted up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. This for the nation.
If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. Couldn't walk in my sneaks. Try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint. Divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents. What I had to do to pay rent. Posted up on the pavement. Posted up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. This for the nation.
If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Going back to the Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a mason, but nah, I ain't no mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. Couldn't walk in my sneaks, try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint, divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents, what I had to do to pay rent. Posted up on the pavement, posted up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a mason, but nah, I ain't no mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation.
If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a mason, but nah, I ain't no mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking altercation. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing, but I'm still pushing this piece. Overcoming my lower self every day. I'm crushing this beast. I was really raised over east, standing on my square while my body facing the east. Couldn't walk in my sneaks, try to follow my footprints. Drew Ali got the blueprint, divine movement. I don't care what your 2 cents, what I had to do to pay rent. Posted up on the pavement, posted up on the pavement. Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a mason, but nah, I ain't no mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation.
If the feds are listening, let them know they ain't got no jurisdiction. Islamism.
Secret investigations, mass incarceration, COINTEL operations, this for the nation. Got new information, dismissing all your cases, no matter what you facing, this for the nation. nation. Going back to the basics, real street motivation, real more stay patient, this for the nation. Feds on like a Mason, but nah, I ain't no Mason. Nationality proclamation, this for the nation. Yeah. Asiatic, not Asian. I remember the relation. I ain't never ducking out the casing. Remove the case location. Don't say nothing at the station. Don't volunteer information. Got stripes like a Dalmatian. It's no amalgamation with the European Pale Nation. I ain't doing no clout chasing.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, Islam, Islam. Why I keep on doing that over and over? Islam, Islam. I don't know why I keep playing it over and over. Okay. Why does it keep on saying it over and over? Trying to see what's going on. Islam, Islam, Islam. Drop a 100 out there if y'all can hear me. Holla if you can hear me. Grand Sheik in the building. That's turning up. That's turning all the way up. I ain't come to play no games. Come play no game. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Drop a 100. Let me know what's going on in the streets. Finna go right in. So 100. Ain't no time to play. Finna go right in. Let me know what's going on in the streets. See speakers. See speakers. See speakers. See speakers. This is Bones. 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 come back in. Trying to get it right, trying to get it right today. They trying to block it. They trying to stop what's going on. Speakers. Now I'm not getting no. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Speakers. Now I'm not getting no. There we go. Okay, can y'all hear me now? There we go. We sound like we getting some feed now. Okay, okay. Sorry for the delay. We finna go in. There we go. We sound like we getting some feed now. There we go. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, Islam, Islam, Islam. Wait, make sure I got my everything good. Islam, Islam, Islam. You in the right spot. It's the Grass Sheik in the building. Grass Sheik is in the building. Time to go live. Lock in, get your notebooks, get your pen and paper, get everything you need together because right now is that time. The great meeting is on. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no more time for plans. It's time to enforce this Constitution. It's time to know what's going on because out here we are getting attacked financially. First of all, let me give all praises to our protector, Father God, Allah. All praise due to Father God Allah, all honors to the noble Drew Ali, his prophet, the messenger, and all the divine prophets. Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Confucius, all the divine prophets. And let me give all honors to Marcus Garvey, the harbinger, the messenger, who came to show us what purity looks like. Islam, purity made manifest. Islam, let's give all honors to our Moroccan flag, all red flag with the 5-pointed green star. Islam, Islam, Islam. I don't know why it's not showing me my chat. It's not even showing me my chat. They trying to block us today, but we ain't gonna let them block us today. Let me see if I can. I don't even want to do that because I might mess something up. All right, let's go in, man. We're going to talk about it today. A lot of times people don't understand securitization, how it really works, what's really going on with that. And how it really works is that every time you get a car note, every time you get a promissory note, as far as a mortgage, credit card, anytime you promise to pay these peoples, they securitize it. What you mean by securitize it? They make it into a security. North America ain't no money. Get that out your head. Ain't no money. Hold on, let me turn on the air because we need the heat up because we finna get the heat cooking in here. Let me cook. Let me turn this air on. Let me turn. It's love. Let's cook. Now let's talk about it. What is money and what is not money? See, what you call money is Federal Reserve notes. It's promissory notes. Every time we sign promissory notes, they turn that into a security because it has a value. I have the case law today. All right? I got the case law today that can discharge all your bills. I had to dig in the crates. I had to go all the way back to 1872 with this case law. Carpenter versus Logan. Come on, let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. Supreme Case ruling in a U.S. Supreme Court rule. Islam, that selling your security, your promissory note is unconstitutional. And you don't owe no debts. I got the case law. Now, if you come to my class Monday, I'm going to show you step by step on how to use this and securitize this UCC with the UCC. Because even Donald Trump used the UCC. Islam, let's talk about it. Even Donald Trump, the U.S. president, used the UCC. Come on, Grand Sheik. Drop a 100 if you can hear me out there, because I'm finna go in. Drop a 100 if you can hear me, because Grand Sheik, it's time to go in. I need to know if y'all with me. Okay, I see Facebook with me. Y'all with me on Facebook? Because I'm finna go in. Ain't no time to play. Playtime is over. It's love. So let's talk about Carpenter versus Logan. Let's read case law. A lot of y'all don't even know how to read case law. So I'm going to drop the 20-week case law and constitutional classes dropping this week. That's dropping this week. And we also doing a redo of the habeas corpus class. That's going to drop next week. All right, so get ready. Get ready. Like, for real, get ready to study. If you're ready to enforce this Constitution, get serenity, it's the perfect time. Donald Trump is in office. A lot of things have been changing. We need to take advantage of that as a nation of people. Islam, let's talk about it. Carpenter versus Logan. This is a U.S. Supreme Court ruling from 1872. Supreme Court of the Colorado Territory. Notice they say the Colorado Territory. Some of y'all still talking about the state of Colorado, the state of Texas, the state of California, the state of Arizona. Now you in the California Territory. You in the New York Territory. Islam, you inside the territory. The territory is not the same as the state of. The state of is not the territory. Let's start there. Let's talk about it today, Grand Sheik. I ain't come to play. Come on, let's talk about it. I hope you got your glasses on, because I got mine on. It's time to read. Only way you're going to learn something is by reading. A lot of y'all don't read enough. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about on March 5th. See, this March 12th, so I'm bringing y'all back to what happened in the same time this month. Back in 1867, let's talk about it. On the 5th of March, 1867, the appealee, Mahila Logan and Jesse B. Logan, executed their promissory note to Jacob B. Carpenter, or order for the sum of $980 payable 6 months after the date at the Colorado National Bank in Denver City, with interest at the rate of 3.5% per month until paid. At the time, Mahila Logan executed to Carpenter a mortgage upon certain real estate therein described. The mortgage was conditioned for the payment of the note as security according to its effect. Let's talk about it. A lot of y'all don't even know what a promissory note is. Let's define what a promissory note is. Let's start there. We can't even just read through this like we know what these words mean. That's how you never learn anything, because you skip through the words like you know what they mean. All right, let's go. First of all, let's go on Investopedia and look up the definition of a promissory note. Okay, a promissory note is a written promise by one party, the note issuer, to another party the note's payee a definite sum of money, either on demand or a specific future date. A promissory note typically contains all the terms involved, such as the principal, debt amount, interest rate, maturity date, payment schedule, the date and place of issuance, and the issuer's signature. A promissory note is a financial instrument that contains a written and signed promise between two parties to repay a sum of money in exchange for a loan or other financing. A promissory note typically contains all the terms pertaining to the indebtedness, such as the principal amount, interest rate, maturity date and place of issuers and issuer's signature. In the terms of legal enforceability, promissory notes lie somewhere between the informality of an IU and the rigidity of a loan contract. So a promissory note is any note that you might hold with a promise to pay, far as a Federal Reserve note, card note, some type of mortgage note. Any note like a Federal Reserve note is a promissory note, which is money. It's the money. Once you execute a promissory note, you are the issuer. So in this case law, Logan is the issuer to Carpenter, who's the receiver of the note, who's now the holder of the note. Now let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. On 24th of July, 1867, more than 2 months before the maturity of the note, Jacob B. Carpenter, for a valuable consideration, assigned the note and mortgage to B. Platy Carpenter, the appellant. The note not being paid at maturity, the appellant filed this bill against Mahala Logan in the District Court of Jefferson County, Colorado Territory, to foreclose the mortgage. Now, when you're dealing with this type of situation, this is how it's supposed to go in common law. Okay? When you go and when they assign a note to a third party, that third party now has the rights to foreclose on the note. But in this case, this assignment was fraudulent, and we're gonna talk about the fraudulent assignment. In your case, it's always a fraudulent assignment. Okay? And that's why when you get a breach of contract lawsuit, it's never the real party of interest. Now let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. Now we're gonna talk about the real party of interest. Okay, who has interest in the note and the mortgage? See, the note and mortgage cannot be separated. It goes together. What is the note and the mortgage? The mortgage is the loan. The note is the promise to pay the loan. Let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. The mortgage is the loan, and the note is the promise to pay the loan. Can I get an amen? Islam? Let's talk about it. Now, when you receive the so-called car loan, when you receive the so-called mortgage, when you receive the so-called personal loan, Islam, it had a note that you issued. You the original issuer of the note. And the note held value to whatever the loan was. What you mean by that, Grand Sheik? I mean that the note said that you was promised to pay whatever the loan was. So if the loan was 100,000, then the note was 100,000. Islam? So the note held a value to it. Islam? But what happened in this circumstance, Islam, because you can't transfer a loan. You can, but you can't transfer a loan in this situation. They transferred the note. They transferred the note. They assigned the note and the loan to the but they wasn't the person who issued the loan. But they assigned the loan, the mortgage, to Carpenter. Carpenter was not the issuer of the loan. The loan was so-called issued by the first party, who was Jacob B. Carpenter. Then he assigned it to Platt Carpenter, and then Platt Carpenter came after the original issuer of the note. Okay, let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. Let's break this case law down now. We gotta know what we talking about here. Drop a 100 if y'all still with me now. Drop a 100 if y'all still with the Grand Sheik. So I can know what's going on out here. Let's see what's going on Facebook. I gotta check everything manually because the way they doing me. Okay, we see Facebook with me, TikTok with me, Instagram with me, okay, Telegram with me. Let's get it. Let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. That's all y'all gotta say. That's the password. Let's talk about it. A lot of y'all be sending me stuff in my inbox. Bring it to my page. I don't look at my inbox. I want to talk about, let's talk about it. Bring it to my page and we can talk about it in the live. Come to my live if you want me to talk about it. Don't send me no videos in my inbox. Send it to me on while I'm on live. Let's talk about it now. Drop it in the comments what you want to talk about. Now let's talk about it. I'm going to continue reading. It says, she answered and alleged that when she executed the mortgage to Jacob B. Carpenter, she also delivered to him certain wheat and flour, which he promised to sell and to apply the proceeds to the payment of the note, that at the maturity of the note, she had tendered the amount due upon it, and had demanded the return of the note and mortgage of what the wheat and flour, all which was refused. Subsequently, she filed an amended answer in which she charged that Jacob B. Carpenter had converted the wheat and flour to his own use. Let's continue reading. It says, and that when the appellant took the assignment of the note and mortgage, he had full knowledge of the facts touching the delivery of the wheat and flour to his assignor. Testimony was taken upon both sides. It was proved that the wheat and flour were in the hands of Miller and Williams, warehousemen in the city of Denver, that they had sold and received payment for a part, and that the money thus received and residue of the wheat and flour were lost by their failure. The only question made in this case upon whom this loss should fall, whether upon the appellant, or the appealee. The view which we have taken of the case renders it unnecessary to advert more fully to the facts relating to this subject. The district court decreed in favor of the appellant for the full amount of the note and interest. The Supreme Court of the territory reversed the decree, holding that the value of the wheat and flour should be deducted. The complainant thereupon removed the case to this court by appeal. It is proved and not controverted that the note and mortgage were assigned to the appellant for valuable consideration before the maturity of the note. Notice of anything touching the wheat and flour is not brought home to him. So let's talk about it. So this is a special case back in 1872. Okay, whereas these people received a loan for $980, signed a promissory note for the loan promising to pay that $980, and then gave them and tendered, they made a tender of a security in the form of wheat and flour. When they delivered the security, it offsetted the note. So therefore, they demanded that whatever they made off the security, they wanted back in their proceeds since they already offsetted the note. Okay, now let's put this into today's terms. Now, when you go for a car note, let's just say a car note for instance, or a mortgage. Let's do a house. Let's do both of them. The same situation. Now you got what they call something tangible. Okay, the tangible items is the house or the automobile. Okay, now they give you a loan on the automobile or the house. Say the loan is 50,000 or 100,000, 200,000 for a house, right? I just do some numbers like that. Now you sign a note for the amount of the loan, but you also got this tangible property. Now you granted them interest in the property, but you also granted them interest in the note. Now they took the note and the loan, which is your account, right? Because they credit the account. They took the account and they sold the account and they sold the note. They put it all in a deposit account. And they pulled it together and sold the note to a third-party investor. Now, the third-party investor has an interest in the note and the loan. Okay, that's what happened in this situation. Now, they took it to court, right? The first court said the state court ruled in the favor of the third-party investor and said that the people who signed the promissory note had to pay the full amount of the note and they had to pay the interest on the note. Now, this is the same thing that might happen in your situation. You might go to the state court. These folks might rule that, yes, you have to pay, you know what I'm saying, the note and the interest to the third party, even though the assignment was fraudulent. Now, we're going to talk about what assignment is. You hear me? Now, the people, what they did was they appealed it to the Supreme Court of that territory. Okay, when they appealed it to the Supreme Court of that territory, the Supreme Court of that territory reversed it. They reversed on that boy. You hear me? They reversed it, the whole decision. So what happened was they won. The people who said that, you feel me, they didn't owe these people nothing because the note was assigned to this third party. You know what I'm saying, me? So they don't owe the interest or the note because it was separated from the loan. You understand how it go? So then the people who lost, they put in another appeal to the Supreme Court of the federal court. Now it's in the federal Supreme Court. You hear me? Now let's continue to talk about it. Now, first of all, a lot of people don't even know what an assignment is. We got to talk about, because we keep talking about this assignment of the note, but let's define what an assignment is. You already know I got to break it down. Let's talk about it, Grand Chief. I'm already going to Investopedia. I'm going in Legal Cornell Law School. I'm either going to one of them two on Fonell. You already know I'm not going to nothing else. Because I like credible resources so I can get a full understanding of this. Because when we reading case laws and we trying to use it, it's important to understand it fully so you can articulate it paragraph by paragraph, detail by detail, because you are using this as the president of your case to lay down the law. Basically, you telling whatever judge, you can't override this law because I got the case law today. Now, if you stick to the end of this live, you know what I'm saying, me? Do we even got one for this? No, never fight. Never mind. We ain't even got one. But what I was saying is, let's look at the definition so we can get a full understanding. Okay, Now, this is the definition of an assignment. An assignment is a legal term whereby an individual, the assignor, transfers rights, property, or other benefits to another, known as the assignee. This concept is used both in contract and property law. The term can refer to either the act of a transfer of the rights, property, benefits being transferred. Under contract law, assignment of a contract is both an assignment of the rights and a delegation of duties in the absence of evidence otherwise. For example, if A contracts with B to teach B guitar for $50, A can assign this contract to C. That is the assignment, both an assignment of A's rights under the contract to the $50 and a delegation of A's duty to teach guitar to C. In this example, A is both the assigner and the delegee who delegates the duties to another. C is known as the obligor, who must perform the obligations to the assignee. And B is the assignee who owes duties and is liable to the obligor. Okay? So in the situation, you got three parties to every contract we dealing with, right? You got the straw man, which is your all caps the principal, who is the issuer of the promissory note. You got the bank, who is the servicing company, and then they transfer it to the indentured trustee, who is the third party who eventually sells it on the market, right? So what happens is the fraud come in play because party C, the third party indentured trustee, never performs. They never gave you anything of value. They never gave you a loan, yet they trying to hold the creditor's rights and come collect on a loan that they have no true equity in. Only reason they got equity in it is because they gained interest through assignment. Meaning they was transferred the contract to them, so that was a fraudulent transfer because you never gave them consent to do this. You understand me? And if anything, you was supposed to collect once the assignment went down, they was paid on the contract. So you was supposed to be paid. The loan was supposed to be offset. It was just like the situation with the lady having the wheat and flour. The loan was offset when she gave them the wheat and flour along with the promissory note. You get what I'm saying? Because they gave you the loan, they gave you the promissory note, but the promissory note itself is the money. It was securitized, it was paid, it was valuable itself, so it offset the actual loan. You get what I'm saying? So the loan was offset at the closing. You get what I'm saying? All right, let's keep pushing. The assignment of a note under due raises the presumption of the want of notice, and this presumption stands until it is overcome by sufficient proof. The case is a different one from what it would be if the mortgage stood alone or the note was non-negotiable and had been assigned after maturity. You understand? So they breaking it down right here. The question presented for our determination is whether an assignee under the circumstances of this case takes the mortgage as he takes the note, free from objections to which it is liable in the hands of the mortgagee. We hold affirmative. They hold that affirmative. The contract as regards the note was that the maker should pay it at the maturity to any bona fide endorsee without reference to any defiances to which, or defenses, to which it might have been liable in the hands of the payee. The mortgage was conditioned to secure the fulfillment of that contract. You hear it? The mortgage was conditioned to secure the fulfillment of that contract. To let in such a defense against such a holder would be a clear departure from the agreement of the mortgagor and the mortgagee, to which the assignee subsequently in good faith became a party. If the mortgagor desired to reserve such an advantage, he should have given a non-negotiable instrument. if one of two innocent persons must suffer by a deceit, pardon self, it is more consonant to reason that he who puts trust and confidence in the deceiver should be the loser rather than a stranger. You heard? Now this is right by the case law. This is the judge. Now they breaking down this case step by step how it goes. Now this is in the same situation when you got three parties to your loan and your note. Now, what this is saying is the assignment of the note undoes the raises of a presumption of the want of notice. Now, the want of notice means they have lack of notifying you, the issuer of the note, that the note was assigned to a third party. Okay? So anytime they assign that a note, I don't care what type of note it was, a car note, mortgage, credit card note, it always raises a presumption, means it always raises a question, you know what I'm saying, that you got a defense to. Because they presuming that they gave you notice. It raises the presumption like, okay, if you bought it, okay, put yourself in the shoes of a debt collector. If you bought a note from somebody, you gonna presume that they gave notice to the person who made the note. You get what I'm saying? So this is what it means by it raises the presumption. You get what I'm trying to say? Grand, she gonna break it down on folding them. I promise to God every time. Now, the assignment of the note did not give notice to you, right? So this is what it says about that. It says this case is a different one from what it would be if the mortgage stood alone or the note was non-negotiable. So the non-negotiable means the note cannot be assigned, okay? The mortgage stand alone means the note was, if the note, okay, what they saying in that sentence is, if the note was not, like say if you sign a promissory note to the third party investor, then that would be different. That would be different because then he can come back and collect because you said you was promised to pay him. But in this case, it wasn't the case. And then it's saying if the loan stood alone, meaning if the loan could be separated from the promise to pay, then this case would be different. But the loan has to go with the promissory note. They go together. You cannot separate these things by the UCC. You understand what I'm saying? Once they separated it, it's non-negotiable. You know what I'm saying? It's the party who accepted it like that, they took the loss. And that's what they're saying. At the last sentence, it says, if one or two innocent persons must suffer by a deceit, it is more consonant to reason that he who puts trust and confidence in a deceiver should be a loser rather than a stranger. So this was what it's saying, is that just because they bought your note, whether they was innocent or not, which we know they not innocent, they already know you didn't give notice of this. This is the whole fraud system. They got to take the loss for that. Just because you got the car, the house, the credit card scot-free is not your fault, because the deceiver was the servicing company, the bank, the person who you signed the original note with. They deceiving in the whole situation, and deception inside any type of contract or promissory note is called fraud. You understand? It's called misrepresentation. So when misrepresentation takes place, it's not by fault, but the person who believed in the misrepresentation and the person who made the misrepresentation. That's the deceiver. Okay? Let's continue to talk about. Let's talk about it. Drop a 100 if you still with Grand Sheet now, because I'm dropping it for you on phone now. I ain't stopping now. I ain't stopping. We in about past 30 minutes. You feel me? You feel me? I'm going in today. Grand Sheik Miss Holiday, so I'm making up. You understand me? Drop a 100 if you with me. Holla if you can hear me. Holla if you can hear me. Minister J.S. Bay say, I'm taking notes. You better take notes, Mo Islam. Take big notes on this one. I don't even think y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Drop a 100. Okay, we got some 100s. Okay. I'm trying to see what's going on out here in these streets. Screed, you hear me? On phone, no. We finna go in. Ain't no plan. You know, I don't come to play. I come to lay down that law. Now we gonna read this case law, and I want y'all to go sign up for my class so I can show y'all how to execute on the UCC, how to put your own interest and record it on the UCC, and then do your own assignment. You understand me? I'm gonna show you how the power of the assignment really works, how you assign your debts, how you can assign the loan, how you can assign the note. You understand? Let's talk about it now, Grand Sheik. Let's talk about it. Let's continue to read. Let's talk about it. Upon a bill of foreclosure filed by the assignee, an account must be taken to ascertain the amount due upon the instrument secured by the mortgage. Here, the amount due was the face of the note in interest, and that could been recovered in an action at law. Equity could not find that less was due. It is a case in which equity must follow the law. A decree that the amount due shall be paid with a specified time, or that the mortgage premises shall be sold, follows necessarily. Powell cited Supre says, this is a citation, means a case law. It says, but if the debt were on a negotiable security as a bill of exchange collaterally secured by a mortgage, and the mortgagee, after payment of part of it by the mortgagor, actually negotiated the note for the value, the endorsee or assignee would, it seems, in all events, be entitled to have his money from the mortgagor on liquidating the account, although he had paid it before, because the endorsee or the assignee has a legal right to the note and a legal remedy at law, which a court of equity ought not to take from him, but to allow him the benefit on the account. I'll continue reading. A different doctrine would involve strange anomalies. The assignee might file his bill and the court dismiss it. He could then sue at law, recover judgment, and sell the mortgage premises under execution. It is not pretended that equity would interpose against him. So if the aid of equity were properly invoked to give effect to the lien of the judgment upon the same premises for the full amount, it could not be refused. Surely such an excrescence ought not to be permitted to disfigure any system of enlightened jurisprudence. It is the policy of the law to avoid circuity of action, and parties ought not to be driven from one forum to obtain a remedy which cannot be denied in another. The mortgage premises are pledged as security for the debt, and preparation as a remedy is denied, the contract is violated, and the rights of the assignee are set at naught. What Noble Drew Ali teach us what naught was? Naught was falsehood. In other words, the mortgage ceases to be a security for a part or whole of the debt. It expresses provisions to the contrary notwithstanding. The note and the mortgage are inseparable. The former is essential, the latter is an incident. An assignment of the note carries the mortgage with it, while an assignment of the latter alone is a nullity. It's love. Now you can use this quote. You can use this quote in your paperwork, and you can send to your creditor right now and tell them I ain't gotta pay you shit on phone now. And don't excuse my language. Say it just like that, with your chest out, and say on phone them at the end of it. On phone them, I ain't gotta pay you shit. On phone them, on the dead homies, on St. Picasso, I ain't gotta pay you nothing, boy. Because the note and the mortgage are inseparable. The former is essential. The latter is, come on now. It's telling you that the note and the mortgage, the loan is the mortgage. The loan is the car loan. The mortgage, it cannot be separated from the note. Once it's separated from the note, the loan by itself cannot be in a security. You understand? So what they did was, they left you with the loan, and you obligated to pay the loan, but they done transferred and signed this note and made money off the note, which really offset the loan. But then when they separated it, you understand, they violated the contract. They violated the contract, you understand? So you don't even, the contract is not enforceable on you because they just assigned your note. And then the other party can't collect on it because the mortgage, the loan itself is not a security. The mortgage is like basically, the loan itself does not make you obligated. It's the promissory note which obligated you to pay the loan. They just basically gave you a free loan, folks. They just gave you a free loan. This loan, they just gave you a free loan because they separated. It's not your fault. It falls on the deceiver. Let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. I'm talking case law right now. I'm talking case law right now. And the state judge, the state judge went against this. So I'm telling the judges and them lawyers, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, because the Supreme Court affirmed this in the state and the federal. Because remember, the federal Supreme Court ruled in the favor of this. They said, no, this cannot be separated. This contract has been violated. You understand? Then the people appealed to the Supreme Court and they affirmed it. You understand me? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. Drop a 100 if y'all still with me now. Cause we about an hour and 30 minutes in. I'm going in. It's the longest live I probably did in a long time. But guess how this class finna go? This gonna be the best class I done dropped in a long time. Cause we gotta go in. Cause it's take finances to uplift the nation. I'm tired of seeing my people financially in debt. This the tax season. It's time to talk about tax and credit. You're not getting a tax return, you're getting a credit return. Islam, a return means profit, income. Income means a profit. Let's talk about it. Do I gotta go live again? Huh? Cause I'm cooking today. I'm cooking today, Islam. Let's keep going. Let's talk about it. We almost done. It says, it must be admitted that there is considerable discrepancy in authorities upon the question upon consideration. Now, what's consideration, Grand Sheik? Because we keep seeing words. Y'all might think consideration is being a nice guy, something like that. Let's look into the legal definition of a consideration. Okay, consideration is a promise. Okay, so the promissory note is considered consideration. Consideration is a promise, a performance, or forbearance bargain by a promisor in exchange for their promise. Consideration is the main element of a contract. It is the what is the main element of a contract. The promissory note is the main element of the contract. Islam, let's continue reading. It says, without consideration, both parties, a contract cannot be enforceable. Now let's go back to what we're saying. Let's go back. It says, it must be admitted that there is considerable discrepancy in authorities upon a question upon consideration. If there's no consideration, it's no contract, Mo. Now, that's what I'm trying to see. This is how you beat all contract. I just dropped the contract case law, and I dropped y'all the receipts that I actually beat cases using this information. Grand Sheik is not guessing. I'm not giving you some type of interpretation of my own. I don't rely on my own understanding. I'm giving you something I was gifted and talented to give you and communicate to you through the talents and the powers of the Almighty God, Allah. You understand? He gave me this case law to deliver. This is the case law. This is the judge saying this of the Supreme Court of the United States and the Supreme Court of Colorado Territory agree with this. Huh? Let's continue reading. Here go another citation. Here go another case law. It says in Bailey versus Smith et al., that means and others in Latin. You can learn a lot by coming to my class. If you join the temple, you correct your nationality. Come on in. It says a case marked by great ability and fulfillment of research. The Supreme Court of Ohio came to a conclusion. Now they talk about Ohio. Now we was in Colorado. Now let's see what they said in Ohio. It said came to a conclusion different from that at which we have arrived. The judgment was put chiefly upon the ground that notes negotiable are made by statute, while there are no such statutory provision as to mortgages, and that hence the assignee takes the latter as he would any other chose an action, subject to all equities which subsisted against it while in the hands of the original holder. To this view of the subject, there are several answers. So they saying the Supreme Court in one state disagreed with this. Now they finna correct this other state while they at it. They finna address all the ops. Let's address all the ops in one. Let's put them in a blender together. Islam, all these judges that disagreeing, that saying that they not committing fraud and violating these contracts, let's put them in a blender on phone now. Continue reading. Let's talk about it, Grand Sheik. It says to transfer the notes, because they finna answer this with several answers. It said to transfer the note carries with it the security. Come on, let's talk about it now. The transfer of the note carries with it the security. Without any form of assignment or delivery, or even mention of the latter, if not assignable at law, it is clearly so in equity. When the amount due of the note is ascertained in the foreclosure proceeding, equity recognizes it as conclusive and decrees accordingly. Whether the title of the signee is legal or equitable is immaterial. The result follows irrespective of that question. The process is only a mode of enforcing the lien. All the authorities agree that the debt is the principal thing and the mortgage an accessory. Equity puts the principal and accessory upon a footing of equality and gives to the signee of the evidence of the debt the same rights in regard to both. There is no departure from any principle of law or equity in reaching this conclusion. There was no analogy. And pardon me for mispronouncing words. Analogy. There is no analogy between this case and one where a chosen action standing alone is sought to be enforced. The fallacy which lies in overlooking the distinction has misled many able minds, and is the source of all the confusion that exists. The mortgage can have no separate existence. When the note is paid, the mortgage expires. When the note is paid, the mortgage expires. It cannot survive for a moment the debt which the note represents. This dependent and incidental relation is the controlling consideration and takes the case out of the rule applied to choices in action, where no such relation of dependency exists. And then it gives you the equity, it gives you the equity Latin term for this. Okay? This is the Latin term, I can't pronounce it, but I'm gonna tell you what it means. Let's look it up in Google. You can screenshot says, the accessory does not lead, but rather follows the principle. Come on now. This is the Latin equity term that says the accessory does not lead, but rather follows the principle. Okay, what that mean, Grand Sheik? Break it down. It says, hold on, let me break this down for you. We finna go in here, man. I promise never stop to going in. I promise you. Let me get me a reliable source, because you know I looks like Oxford got it. Oh, okay. They don't want to break it down on the Oxford, so we gonna have to break it down for you. So what it's saying right here is the Latin term right here is the equity, saying that the accessory. What is the accessory? The accessory is the mortgage. It says right here in the beginning sentence, it says all authorities agree that the debt is the principal thing. The debt is the principal thing, and the mortgage is the accessory. So the debt is the promissory note, which is the straw man promised to pay, which is the promissory note. The loan he promised to pay is the mortgage. That's an accessory. You got to look at these as two separate instruments, because they gave you a loan. That was an instrument. That was a letter of credit. That was a piece of paper. They credit your account, right? You signed off on the loan, but then you signed another piece of paper. It's called the promissory note, which is the principal. It's the actual debt itself. The debt is the credit. The credit is the money. Debt and credit is the same thing. Let's talk about it now. Now it says that the mortgage cannot be separated from the debt. This what the equity maxim tells you, that the mortgage follows the debt. The debt don't follow the mortgage. So you can't talk, like for instance, you left me with a loan. I don't have to pay no loan because you don't got the promissory note that's supposed to go with it. Therefore, I don't have to follow what I didn't promise to pay. Let's talk about it now. Islam, I don't have to pay what I didn't promise to pay, because the promissory note was separated from this debt, this loan you gave me. I don't have a debt because the debt is the promissory note. Where is the promissory note? Where is the debt? That's where the debt at, in the promissory note. So you supposed to do an affidavit of loss? No, hold on, I'm talking too much now. I'm talking too much now. You got to do an affidavit of loss note, and you got to, come on, I'm going to teach you how to do it in class, Mo. Let's continue. I'm going to teach y'all how to do that in class. Come on now. We going to talk about this note in class in the UCC and filing it. Come on, I'm just giving you a preview, Mo. I'm really going in on Monday. That's the money day. Let's continue reading. Let's talk about it. It says in Pierce versus Fuyans. Now, this is another case law. Do you see how they going case law after case law to show you how it works, so you can articulate and understand fully how equity works when we're dealing with promissory notes and loans? Who's the real party of interest? And you can use this in court. You can use this on contract, anything more. Islam. And Pierre versus Fuentes, and you can look up each one of these cases. The court said a mortgage is pro tanto a purchase, and a bona fide mortgagee is equally entitled to protection as the bona fide grantee. So the assignee of a mortgage is on the same footing with the bona fide mortgagee. In all cases, the reliance of the purchaser is upon the record. And when that discloses an unimpeccable title, he receives the protection of the law as against the unknown and latent defects. Let's talk about it. And Matthews versus Wallen is usually much relied upon by those who maintain the infirmity of the assignee's title. In that case, the mortgage was given to secure the payment of a non-negotiable bond. The mortgagee assigned the bond, and the mortgage fraudulently, and thereafter received large sums which should have been credited upon the debt. The assignee sought to enforce the mortgage for the full amount specified in the bond. The Lord Chancellor was at first troubled by the consideration that the mortgage deed purported to convey the legal title, and seemed inclined to think that might take the case out of the rule of liability, which would be applied to the bond if standing alone. He finally came to a different conclusion, holding the mortgage to be a mere security. The mortgage to be a mere security. He said finally, the debt, therefore, is the principal thing. The debt, therefore, is the principal thing. And it is obvious that if an action was brought on the bond in the same of the mortgagee, as it must be the mortgagor shall pay no more than what is really due upon the bond. If an action of covenant was brought by the covenantee, the count must be settled in that action. In this court, the condition of the signee cannot be better than it would be at law in any mode he could take to recover what was due upon the assignment. The principle is distinctly recognized that the measure of liability upon the instrument secured is the measure of the liability chargeable upon the security. The condition of the assignee cannot be better in law than it is in equity, so neither can be worse. Upon the ground we place our judgment. We think the doctrine we have laid down is sustained by reason, principle, and greater weight of authority. Decree reversed, and case remanded with directions to enter a decree in the conformity with this companion. All right, so the court ruled that the debt, the promissory note, is the debt, is the principal, and that the mortgage itself had became a security. It became property in itself, which they assign and securitize to a third party, which caused the confusion. And the problem is the mortgage doesn't hold no consideration. The mortgage holds no value outside than what the third party gave value to it by buying the mortgage. But when he bought the mortgage, he separated from the note, which makes it unenforceable. So they have to remand it, dismiss it, send it back down to the court. They couldn't appeal it. You understand? Because remember, the people who lost, who tried to enforce the note, they tried to appeal it, and that's why it got remanded back down, because they not able to win the appeal. So this case law shows you and proves it to you. Islam. Now, if this ain't what you know how to use, if you can't use this, what I just gave you, then come to my class Monday, and I'm gonna show you how to use it. Just that simple. Peace and love. I'm out on that note. All praise to Allah. All honest to everybody that showed up today. I appreciate y'all. Replay this back on my YouTube. If you need to see this on TikTok and Instagram, y'all can go back on the YouTube, Telegram, go to my YouTube, faithful member, go to Conscious College, enroll right